Well, well, hello, and looky what we have here. This, ladies and gentlemen, is a Napoleonic line battle. Now, the thing that's different is we are covering the 77Y Sunday line battle. Yes, we're back with the 77Y. Now, let me tell you about the teams on the Russian side. Of course, we have the 77Y and the 1st Brigade in there as well. And you can see quite a good turnout. On the right-hand side, as he checks to make sure he hasn't left anything on that he shouldn't. Ah, that's better. Yeah, sorry, bit of a technical problem there with the mixer. Never mind. Anyway, as you can see, on the United Kingdom side, we have the 1st RG, the 85th KG, the RRG 1st, and the Duke Camin of Brunswick. And plenty of others in there as well. So, let's have a look and see what the Brits are actually going to get up to. Apologies for the noise in the background. That is my washing machine, because I believe in good cleanliness, even on the battlefield. So, Spaceballs, Ensign Spaceballs from the 1st RRG. Look at him, doesn't he look fantastic? Okay, looks a little emaciated, but never mind, he's going to get shot soon anyway, so it's probably the least of his problems. Ah, look at this, RJ, the RGJ, Captain Connor from the 1st. Look at these guys, aren't they? Don't they look fantastic? And we're going to fly around and find out what's going to happen. Now, let's see if we can lock in. Aha, Duke Camin of Brunswick. Looks like he's all hussarred up. Ah! Guard Random Fellow, complete with spyglass. Now, let's have a look at the cannons. Now, what they've done is they've limited it to 1 sapper per, because for obvious reasons, because of the Fort Derp that these guys have a tendency to build. And, what do you know, it's Captain Thomas as the engineer today. So, he is in charge of Fort Derp. And, let's see. Let's make sure that everything is going on. You see those cannonball trails already making their way up towards the 77Y artillery. And there is Cannoneer Predator, who is checking through his spyglass for the cannons that they are firing. Also working together there is Gunner Doozle and Asuna as well. So you can see over on the right-hand side, we have some of the arty guards. There's J-Wall in there. And there is High Lord. And obviously there's Random Fellow. Now, who's doing the other cannon? There is Gunner Lortano and the Dow 14. I think that's it, the Dow or the Dow. Anyway, here's the cannoneer. You can see the earthworks already set up and ready to go, as it looks like Dano from the artillery has taken down the enemy, and it looks like they've got a bit of a stand-up battle going on. Look at this, the Russians coming under massive pressure from the Brits, charging in. It is the RGJ, and they are really going after the 77Y pretty heavily. There's Grenadier Axiom. He's decided to cheese it in the opposite direction. They've lost a few of their number. Now they're backing off, and you can see them starting to move back towards this large rock. And, oh no, Spaceballs, there we go. Spaceballs has been shot as predicted. To be honest, if he didn't get shot on the battlefield, I would be slightly surprised. So we'll just have to wait and see. That might be officer aiming. We'll have to wait and see how that turns out. Anyway, let's see if we can find out what's going on around here, because you have the Hussars moving about up in the background there. And if we look, you can see Lieutenant Ellis from the RGJ, and he is going to possibly run into some problems. We'll have to wait and see how that turns out. And they're looking for an opportunity to maybe get a kill. Oh, look at these Lancers, the Uhlans in. Oh, the 1st Brigade, the 6 PP, they look fantastic. Those fine Lancers doing their damage. Going into, oh, that's horrific. Into the 85th KGL. Brutality going on there. You can see poor Cadet takes down, looks like Fenbor there. And that doesn't look good at all. Let's see what's going on as these guys are trying to defend themselves. There's Colonel Carlos Oliveira. And he is trying to defend himself from this attack. And there he goes. He even brought his lance with him, but unfortunately he forgot his horse. Oh, look at that. Man sacrifices his own ride to allow his colonel to become mobile yet again. And Doozle with a fine kill onto Artie Dano. So it looks like Artie on Artie action. And here is Captain Gamer in charge, or running with the skirmishers. Now, who is up ahead? Lieutenant Avior could be leading the skirmishers today. We'll have to wait and see. But Gamer is behind that forefront as we look at all the rest of the lights and the skirmishers. Aha, there's Skywalker at the back. And Mr. Fork. You don't mess with him, Fork. He will fork you up big time. And let's see if we can find out what kind of plan they have. No plan whatsoever, as Avior keeping up with the tradition of the 77Y skirmishers by catching a cannonball with his face. 10 out of 10 for the snipe, definitely, without a doubt. So yeah, no doubt. That's, and the thing that's really funny is that that's normally the cannonball that's probably reserved for Gamer, as that's usually Gamer's death there. So he's managed to dodge that bullet, or dodge that cannonball per se. And look, he's back at the front of the line, so which means he'll probably die shortly. And let's just see. Oh, look at that. 77Y Lieutenant Charlie the Turtle. Watching the turtles. Let's see what's going on, as here are the skirmishers, and you can see them getting set up. It looks like they might be pushing in towards the artillery section of their enemy. No, correction, this is the 77Y artillery section. My apologies. So there's Dusel continuing his work. Now, it looks like the cavalry has actually made a charge onto the enemy. Let's see if we can find out what the Hussars are doing. Hussars! There we go, there's Major Silverleaf. And it looks like Hussars and Uhlans have gone up against each other. That's going to be nasty because... Oh, barge to the floor. Guard Katniss trying to fight for survival, coming under the bayonets and nasty pointed pieces of equipment. Ouch! Pointed pieces of equipment. Down goes Katniss, last of the Uhlans. And it looks like... No, correction. If you look back there, you did see that there was still another Uhlans. Oh, God. And it's good to see the 77Y are still... haven't changed much. Oh, dear, So, yes. The skirmishers, otherwise known as the retard bus, doing very well tonight. So, now they've actually decided to do something. It looks like a nice team kill there with a cannonball. Always entertaining to see. And Dusel continuing. There's Mr. Fork. Ah, here is the British artillery. And who is the engineer? Swagkawalrus? Oh my good God. Fusilier no less. But today he's on engineer duty with a fine pipe. And a big boom in the background. Oh dear. Oh dear. Look at this. This is brutal. Mass suicides going on, as you can see there. 2 marksmen taken down by Lieutenant Jack. Fantastic stuff going on. And there's Togaru. Is this Jack over here? Yes, it is. Oberst Lieutenant Jack, no less, from the BC Artillery. And you can see he's just about to go and throw himself on the spike. Now, what's this gentleman up to? The BC Cav. Look at these guys. Don't they look fantastic? And who are these guys lining up? The 1st RGJ, Grenadier Alyssa, with Sergeant Major Jamie at the end. Basically waiting as the artillery. They're hiding behind a hill. That's smart play there. Hiding behind the hill just to hide their numbers in case somebody here then says, oh, by the way, we're slightly under attack. And then they can charge from behind the hill and overwhelm them with numbers. And so, the artillery section continues, and it looks like Hussar Lou, yes, has decided to pick up the engineering work and get some of those earthworks back into place, because these good placed earthworks will save the cannon. As it looks like also we got a bit of sword action occurring out there in the field. Let's see if we can find out. Look at these guys, don't they look glorious? Fine fellows. And down goes Octavius with a fine headshot from High Lord. And here is Rostafari. And it looks like they are trying to defend the Russian artillery section from an attack coming in from the 1st RGJ. And down goes Johimbo. He is no more. More stabbing going in also there to Wizpir. And he is down as well. And it looks like the Russians have secured their artillery position. However, over here on one side, is this the skirmies? Yes, it is. The 77Y bullet catchers. And let's check to see... Thank you for proving my point. And Thomas, sliced and diced. He is no more. As you can see, the battle is raging. Ouch. That was brutal. Brutal goings on. Another man gets taken down with his horse over in the corner here. Major Dagon. Oh, there's a name I recognise. From the BC Cav. And also coming in, there's... Not anymore. There is Oberleutnant Morris, as I think it's Oberleutnant Morris, maybe, BC. He's trying to deal with Midgarder. He is stabbing him in the legs, and another stab from Midgarder finishes him off. So, let's see who remains from the enemies. I think it looks like the 77Y have managed to defend this hill, and it's a good situation for them. Now the skirmishers can move out, and it looks like one of these lines is going to move out, and there is Bobashitty. Great name, by the way. And let's just see who's going to join that. Aha, look at that. It's Captain Gaz, no less. So I wonder who is commanding the forces on the battlefield. We'll have to wait and see. Let's see if we can track them down. Captain Gaz with the line. Let's look at the difference. 14 and 33. Oh, heavens above. The Russians definitely have a massive advantage. 2-1 at least. And let's just see what occurs. Oberleutnant Jack, I should say, looking through his spyglass for a chance to take out the enemy. You can see him seeing those troops moving over the fields and trying to bounce a cannonball right past their nose. We'll just have to wait and see how that turns out as we... Oh! Cannonballs. And it looks like random fellow has just shot himself in the head for no reason whatsoever other than because he felt like it. And here is a field match. So you can see these guys, the British artillery, still with these very patient gentlemen from the 1st RGJ, with Lieutenant Ellis commanding this line as the defence of the artillery section. Now, I think it's fair to say that this constitutes the remaining members of the British forces. As you can see, another, that looks like a Baker rifleman making his way up. Yeah, looks like it. That's fine. It's Cadet Sharp, no less. And looking for an opportunity to shoot some Russians. So let's see if we can find out where those pesky 77Y Ruskies are coming from. You can see them up ahead now. The skirmishers usually are pretty spread out because they don't actually have a requirement to stay in a line. To be honest, it doesn't tend to make a huge amount of difference because what happens is they usually end up catching cannonballs with their face anyway, as Avior and Gamer probably. And as you can see, as Slavic has also just proved. Now, this line over here on the right-hand side, who is it? It is Mr. Turtle. It is Charlie the Turtle. And poor old Bobby Shitty manages to get canister in the face. There's J-Wall, there's High Lord, and these look to be the artillery guard now moving up on the enemy as Warwick goes online. Hello, Warwick. And Captain Gaz shot down by Cadet Sharp. Sorry, Captain Sharp, I should say. As a fine shot there as Gaz manages to not make it through the entire round. You've also got Cavalier Feld Matt. And you can see, oh, look at that. Fantastic stuff going on. Under fire at the same time as he's getting into a little bit of melee with the 77Y. Oh, fine slice. Wow. But unfortunately left himself open for the opportunistic kill by Gamer. And now it looks like they've got the Brits on the run. This is exactly what's occurring. Here is Cadet Sharp. And there's only 2 members of the Brits remaining. Turns to shoot, but is literally locked into... Oh my god, that could be a toothpick. Oh. Down goes Sharp. And we are on to round number 2 of the 77Y Sunday Line Battle. We'll be right back. And so we return. As you can see here, oh, the British Army... It's what I love about Napoleonic War players. They are completely balmy. Look at this. Just ridiculous. Benny Z. And he's the Major as well. You would think he would know better. Oh my god, look at those glasses. Look like they've melted in the sun. But he is actually the engineer of choice. So, yeah. What can I say? Oh, there we go. A little bit of preemptive teabagging by Hydra. Hail Hydra. And let's just see what's going on as this line is going to move out. Captain Connor leading the 1st RGJ out. And fine line making their way out. Who's tail end, Charlie? That is Ensign Wilson at the rear this time. Whoops-a-daisy. Looks like we're going to have a reset. There we go. We got a reset, and now we are live. So, let's go back to the British spawn as the cavalry move out. And the cannons get ready to move into position. Huzzah indeed. Here is Bombardier Vlados. And there is... Oh, nice parking. That's just beautiful parking right there. While Benny Zed's trying to do his engineering work. You got another guy who seems to think he's a cook. That is obviously Hydra. And you see him getting set up and trying to put in the defences. So you can see that's a nice defence there. As everything is being put into place as the cannons are now limbered up. Unlimbered, I should say. Sorry, correction. Now. Ensign Wilson. His line waiting for his command to move forward. Let's look around. Aha, look at this. It is the turtle. The war turtle himself, Mr. Charlie the Turtle. Oh, cannonballs bouncing, going right past Predator. And right through White Knight. Oh, poor White Knight. Never even got a chance to load his cannon. Oh, poor White Knight. Always the bridesmaid, never the bride. Never mind. So these are the problems that you have when going up against people who know they can actually shoot with a cannon. Oh my God, what is being built? It's Thomas, Captain Thomas. What the hell is this? It looks like he's building one of those ridiculous biplanes from like the early period of flight where they just build loads and loads of wings to try and give it more lift. But never mind. Anyway, the engineer is J-Wall. So J-Wall's going to be putting up those defences to try and stop those kind of cannonballs. You can see the cannonball, teardrop shaped, you can see landing in the ground. And also you have a section of the cavalry here. Look at these fine lancers. As Predator catches a cannonball. Whoa. Holy crap. Look at that. Tagaru and Dano doing a fantastic job with the artillery. So, yeah, that's looking pretty good. As it looks like... To be honest, I think Thomas has been spending too much time on Minecraft. I think he thinks he's in Minecraft. He's in the process of either building a house or... Yes, this is definitely Fort Derp, without a doubt. I mean, look at that. I'm just waiting for him to either fall off and die or catch a cannonball while he continues to build. Anyway, who's this fine fellow holding the flag? It is Destructinator 99 even. So another fine pipe there from him. And looking through the glasses is Mr. Random Fellow. Ah, who's this hiding? Who's this observing a tree? Route 1 Gaming. Hello, Route 1 Gaming. Are you hypnotized by that tree? Does it speak to you? Anyway, let's move on and find out what's going on as we are looking at, obviously, J-Wall there. And Lortano, of course. And there is the Dewey, or the Dow 14. And High Lord waiting. Now, let's go and have a look over the battlefield. Find out what's going on. Well, all we can see right now is Posh Gaming has managed to catch a bullet with his head. So that's predominantly what's going on in the battlefield. You can see the smoke in the centre of the screen from the enemy artillery. As looks like Sharkan has been taken down, and Cody also being finished off. Oh, heavens above! Look at that. Mass firing. We need to try and find out where this battle is occurring, as that is a really, really nasty goings on. Look at this. This must be where it's coming from. As a bit of teammate killing going on, it looks like it might be horsey on horsey action, ladies and gentlemen. Hussars versus other members of the cavalry. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. And there you go. You can see the BC Fusilier, Hampton, and you've also got one of these gentlemen in there. There's Husky from the 85th KGL. They're out. And this gentleman, one of the Lancers, has... Or sorry, duck for the crow, or duck for the row even. He has managed to pick up one of the Lancers, so that's not too bad for him. He can deal with any kind of troublesome horsey that comes his way. However, if you look up here on the other side, it looks like these members of these forces are starting to attack. And who has come in? Yes, it is the Ranger. Ranger going in for a little bit of stabby fun. And you can see, looking very nice today, Ranger. As you could see, waiting for an opportunity to go in for a stab as the battle occurs on top of Artillery Hill as Vlados gets killed. And now let's just see what's going on, as now we can see Sergeant Ranger going after the tree. Looks like he's going to be... Oh dear, look out, Ranger. As it looks like Duck is going after him. He's going to duck him up very badly. And here comes the... Oh my goodness, it's Recruit Porksword. Beware the Porksword, ladies and gentlemen. And now Smelly Water, Cadet 477Y, defending himself against two attacks coming in from one side. Ouch, and right through the back. Oh dear, poor Smelly Water. He is no more, as now you can see this entire section in close to being overrun. The British doing their best to try and defend. All these kind of things set up to try and defend against the artillery and the cavalry. As you can see, this gentleman here, Oberleutnant Morris, now reforming his group. They are now regrouping as they have done the damage to the artillery section of the United Kingdom forces. However, Toigaru still survives, but almost didn't. So, look at that, Slurpaderp. What a great name, Recruit Slurpaderp. And we shall see what Latano is up to. Now, what is going on with Fort Derp? Should we find out? There we go. Construction is continuing, as you can see. I'm not sure if he's building it some kind of Napoleonic aeroplane. It's difficult to tell with that. And there is Random Fellow doing random things. And Thunderbird has managed to shoot himself in the testicles and falls off the server. And here is the other members of the artillery sections. Ho! Lots of smoke coming from the cannons. And there is Destructinato 99. So, let's have a look at the numbers. 18 and 14. So, right now, the United Kingdom have an advantage. Only by 4, however. Now, here is the first RRG. Led by, I believe that's Colour Sergeant Whisper. Look at them moving forward, along with Hauptmann Maxwell as well, with a fine rifle and bayonet. Tail end Charlie at the end is King Crow, Lieutenant Colonel King Crow. Now these guys are going to be moving up probably towards the 77Y artillery hill. Feldmat, Poland 228 or 288, Gift Thor, Gift Doe. Oh, Soldat Herzog. A friend of mine's called Herzog. And let's see, Flames, another Ulan there, Grenadier Logan, and Silverleaf at the back. So, cavalry still remains a major threat to them. What the bloody hell. Yeah, welcome to Fort Derp, everyone. Constructed by Thomas. With only one entrance, as you can see. And now he's destructing Fort Derp. So, in the middle of the screen you can see cavalry coming in the direction of Artillery Hill. Now, whether or not the 77Y artillery will wait for an opportunity, we'll have to wait and see how that turns out. Let's find the English. Here they are, the first RRG. Now, did we see a puff of smoke over that hill? There is, I believe. Let's just speed up, shall we? As I hear foots landing. The sound of hooves, cannonballs. Oh, heavens above. Not looking good for these guys, as you can see. Wait for you. You see them now splitting up from that line to try and avoid any cannonball deaths as required. So you can see there the puff of smoke coming in from the artillery section of the 77Y as these fine brave fellows from the 1st RRG decide to make a push up towards 77Y's artillery hill. Oh, look at that dodge. A dodge from Corporal Grandmaster. Fantastic stuff going on. And no enemies were found there by the 77Y artillery. So, Corporal Numpty looks like he's leading the way, and they're pretty spread out. Ow. As Destructinator with a fine shot from a distance kills Wait For You. And let's just wait and see what happens. As there's Destructinator. And here is Mr. Turtle, of course, commanding the artillery guard. And here come the Brits. Spread out in a nice wide line. There's Slurpaderp. Moving in. Recruit for the first RRG. And there's a little bit of canister shot as well. And the fight starts. And here is Fort Derpaderp. Fort Derp. And this is the guys who are trying to defend themselves. And look at this. This is good work here by the 77Y. Managing to defend that single point of access. And the other guys are actually going for that wood so that they can actually take it down and try and remove it as quickly as possible. And who's that's going in? That's Grimtastic, Colonel of the 1st RRG. He is running into J-Wall, who is determined to hold him back, as you can see. And in come the cavalry at the same time. Down goes Grimtastic. Grimtastic is no more. And you can see an Ulan Lance in there as well, as the 77Y are defending their position. Ouch. Down goes a cavalryman. Oberleutnant Morris. Not looking good. And looking even less well now. As you can see here. Colour Sergeant Whisper also finished off. Random horse. Drive-by horse. Drive-by horse. So there we go, ladies and gentlemen. It seems that Fort Derp has been successful in providing a defensive... Ow. As Felled Matt gets felled, quite literally. Bit of random horse assassination occurring. Bad parking by the horse there. And Major Silverleaf is finally shot by Route 1 Gaming. So, 2 members of the British and 13 members. What's going on over here? Correction. High Lord managing to get shot. Sorry, correction. He got stabbed by Destructinator. And the command to charge has occurred. Melee only. Oh god, you gotta feel sorry for poor old Torigaru, as he is the only one left. And it looks like it's going to be melee only. Look at all these guys. So Torigaru, I can just see in the distance. It's going to be a long charge in for what could be a very, very short battle. Here's our boy. Here's Toigaru going up against the remainder of the 77Y. Yes, cavalry, dismount, you evil buggers. Oh, he's going in with his cotton bud. Look out, everybody. This is going to be tough. Toigaru trying to defend himself against 3 men at the same time. Sadly for him, Charlie the Turtle takes him down. And we move on to the next round. And we return with the 3rd round. Now, I hear lots of horsey footsteps. Aha! Oh my goodness. As you can see, the skirms are well trained. A little bit of a Mexican wave going on there with the skirms. Yeah, less said about that the better really, but never mind. As also moving out, there's Bobby Shitty at the bottom. The back, I should say. And leading the line, Mercenary Captain. PFC Mercenary Captain. Okay, that's strange. And there is Alex Wheeler also in as well. Private Alex Wheeler. Google Gaming. Smelly Water from earlier. Bodam. There's Grenadier Slavic. Riki Chotaik. Chatoy-Tyke. Oh, God. There's Mark Holf. Frosty Cube. Conscript Frosty Cube. Nick Lazanis, Andrew, and you can see them all getting caught up. And there's Tommy Lee, marksman Tommy Lee at the end. So, let's see what they decide to do as the line is staying back here, as you would kind of expect them to do, as the skirmishers have the distance and accuracy to engage at long distance. Those rifles, definitely much better than the standard musket that comes. Oh, Toigaru, look at that. A fine kill already. So, fine cannons. Lovely stuff going on. As now you can see the lines and the skirmishers. Oh, are they going to crash into each other? No, no, they're staying away from each other. But you can see them all moving together, snaking around the battlefield, with cannonballs bouncing around them. So, there you can see just in the centre at the top of the screen where the cannonball puff of smoke is coming from. And we watch as the 77Y makes their way out. Looks like the skirmishers in a line. There's probably another line somewhere around. Cannonballs bouncing around them as per usual. Oh, there we go. Skirmishers move over to the left. Aha! They see a quarry. They see a target. And this target... Oh! There we go. Long distance shooting. Takes down King Crow at the bit. Back. Pork Sword is no more. Murdered horribly. And so the... Ow! JHS. Also murdered horribly as well. As you can see there. Poor JHS. Looks like he's just... Oh my goodness, that's a really painful death position. Look at that. Never mind. As now you see the 77Y line move up and start to engage the enemy. There we see a huge amount of damage being done. As it looks like the RRG are taking a lot of damage. They've lost quite a few members. And they've got to try and stand and fight. We'll just have to wait and see as Riki gets taken down as well. And now you can see the skirmishers also moving up to support the line. But Rikamaru gets taken down with a fine headshot from Captain Sharky. Smelly Water and Andrew taken down by Dano with a cannon. And here are the Baker Riflemen, the skirmishers, who are doing a good job, as you can see there. Prince von Prussia, the colonel of the 85th KGL, doing a good job, and they are putting down quite some sustained fire onto this line, currently under the control of Zaleski. He is trying to get the troops into a good position. Oh. And he's taken a little bit of damage as Sergeant Ranger manages to catch a cannonball. And the Brits decide to pull back. But at the same time as the Brits pull back, the cavalry moves in on the 77Y. And this could be a very, very difficult situation for them. As now you can see slice and dice going on. Down goes horses, down goes cavalry, down goes hussars and other members. And you can see them. There we go. Fine work by the 77Y. Oh dear, this guy's about to have a very bad day. Loading his pistol. There's Oberleutnant Morris. And that's the only pistol shot he's going to get. And he missed it. And a fine murder there. Zalewski being killed by marksman Jarosaurus. The Jawas have claimed another victim. As you can see. Jawasus, maybe? I don't know. Anyway, Alex Wheeler managed to take out Maxwell. And you can see Major Dagon also being finished off by Cruz. And there's Bob. Oh, Tommy Lee. Oh my goodness, what is going on? Professor Wagstaff also being finished off from the first RGJs. The marksmen are doing a good job. Correction, not that one. He got taken down. Poor old Johnny getting finished off as well, as lots of flying cavalry and backwards moving cavalry, I have to say. Oh dear, that's a painful death position, I have to say. Never mind. So, the marksmen continue to do a lot of damage as Glengarry takes down Bob. And Alex Wheeler gets shot in the head by Hubert. And look at this. This is a stand-up fight going on. As you've got the Baker Rifleman on the left-hand side. And Rostafari, who is guarding the artillery. Let's see if we can get back There's Dano. And, aha, look at this. Who is surrendering already? Votik. So, Avior down again. And here is Captain Connor from the RGJ moving forwards onto that position. And it looks like Hubert's managed to just kill one of his teammates. Oh, goodness me, look at this. The combination of the fire that came in on the skirmishers absolutely butchered them. And also the cavalry that came in, they got pretty badly messed up as well. So as you can see here, pretty brutal battle going on between the cavalry and the 77Y and the British line that followed up. So these guys are going to move up, get into a line and shoot at the retreating 77Y. One of them dodging left and right to try and avoid those bullets coming towards him. Who is that person trying to dodge? That's Cruz. Gunner Cruz. Making his way into the distance. The Georgianator. Mr. Muffin. Idasile. And let's see. Jawasas. So, these guys making their way back now, as they obviously can't compete against a full line like that. It would have been literally suicide. And speaking of suicide, Cruz continuing to watch where the enemy's going. And welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Titanic. Yes, that's exactly what it looks like. It's either that or some kind of Napoleonic War Concorde. Yeah. Isn't he special? So, as you can see, they've even got parking for horses. Isn't that lovely? So, the 77Y, there's White Knight, Gunner White Knight. Looking for an opportunity for a little bit of a cannon kill. He's searching for a target. Scanning the horizon, looking for movement. And looks like he's gone after the opposing cannons. And is loading up with his next cannonball. Destructinato 99. And there is Asuna bringing back the horse. And they're probably going to limber up the cannon, maybe possibly move it out. Or maybe they'll park it. I don't know. It's hard to tell. As there's Predator looking for the enemy. Aha! Soldier Flapperjack. Waiting. By the looks of it, probably AFK. Aha, look at this. The RGJ now moving up. 31 versus 26. So the United Kingdom has an advantage, but only by about 5 people. Not a lot when you think about it, but those 5 extra bullets could come in handy. And they decide to turn around and go back in the opposite direction. So, quick 180. And looks like they're going to look to try and deal some damage to the cavalry. And it looks like they haven't actually managed to do any damage to them at all. And in comes Major Quiffy. And a fine slice into Ravenger and Lieutenant Ellis. And for those of you who are wondering, why don't they form a square? Because there's just not enough people to form a square, and it just doesn't work. So it's not really much point under the circumstances. There's Duel. And now they're getting in up close and personal. Oh, watch out. Nosey's going to do a number on you. As here is Grenier trying to defend himself against an awful lot of enemy. Uh-oh. And barge from behind. Oh, fine stab into Crazy Man. Hit by a horse again. And finally stabbed in the back. By Oliveira. So, 22 remain. 23 on the Russian side. Does that look like a reverse Smurf? It does rather, doesn't it? Anyway. Here is Wait For You from the 1st RRG. And these guys look like, yep, they're making their way towards Artillery Hill for the 77Y. Ouch. A fine shot by J-Wall. Takes down Kaylee. Or Kalik, I should say. And Sacco as well. Rastafari finished off by Seek attackers. They've got to be careful because a cannonball is probably going to be coming their way very quickly as Wait For You manages to get a fine murder onto Cruz. You can see a few number here. They're going to be picking up. There we go. Thomas picks up a musket, ready to fire back. Charlie the Turtle comes under fire. Down goes Wait For You. And Ensign Wilson taking down more members as it looks like the 77Y have got some good support at their artillery section. There is the Do, or the Dow 14, looking for a little canister. Goodness, we'll have to wait and see. He's got to be careful. It looks like this one here. Midgarder trying to point him the way, saying, go that way, go that way, go that way. Yeah, that's blatant. Oh, God. Well, you can't argue. It is a good design. Look at that. The artillery guard get up high. They've got good visibility all around. You've got suitable parking for horses and a single point of entrance. So, can't really argue with the design. That's good design there by Thomas. As now the KGL are going to be in trouble. Let's see. Have they backed off? Aha, who's this fellow? Fenbohr. And Fusiliers looks like they're going in onto the British artillery. Here they are. There's Toigaru looking to try and defend himself. You can see him. Oh, nice block there from him. And there's another quick stab and a slice and a push over by a horse. He's got to be careful. Another slice coming in from one of his teammates. Who is this gentleman? This is Major Quiffy. He is no more. The commentator's curse does it again. Oh, a lovely stab there by Toigaru into Olivia. And another stab into Trump Stexy. Lovely stuff going on from Toy. They're doing a good job of stabbing the opponents. You can see him waiting for an opportunity. Looks like he's going to try and reload maybe. Get a little canister shot in there. Wait for an opportunity. So it looks like the British artillery section has survived. Continuing to deal with this Lancer. There's Jewel. Ow, his horse has been hurt. As Jawa Sas gets taken down by a fine shot from Duck. Now, unfortunately, Lieutenant Jewel really needs to make use of the advantage of speed, and he's not going to have a position to do that. As you can see, more going down as it looks like they're attacking the 77Y artillery section. So let's see what's going on. Nothing really. It's all quiet on the Western Front, so to speak. As there is a member of the Hussars, Horzavotic, and here is Midgarder, along with other members of the artillery guards, now moving up and going after the Brits. Yes, come back, come back. They only want to kill you. Oh, look at this, Hydra. Hail, Hydra. Now picked up the engineering start and is in the process of building plenty of spiky goodness, as we do like the spikes. Okay. Let's see. So, oh dear. He looks unhappy. Not to mention dead. But here is Tokyo. And he sees the 77Y coming. Down goes the cannonball. And down goes Midgarder. A fine shot. A palpable hit. Oh, look at that cannonball right between them. And now they spread out to try and avoid unnecessary deaths, as there's Destructinato. And over on the right hand side there's Ida Skyle, or Ida Sile, I think. J-Wall also moving up as well. 24 versus 11. So, here looks to be most of them. Here's Hydra going up against High Lord. High Lord gets sliced a little bit with that saber, blocks the opposing swing just then, and it's looking quite difficult for High Lord. And oh dear, Mr. Muffin backs up into the enemy. Very unfortunate. High Lord going in with a fine stab attempt, and then now he's got a teammate there to support him, and that's exactly what he does. Takes down Toygaro as J-Wall finishes off Toika. And let's just see, last man standing. The engineer has been finished off by the turtle, followed by a quick set of booting. Hail Hydra indeed, and we go to the last round. Okay, so we return with the last round. I heard bagpipery, unlicensed bagpipery going on there. Aha, yes. Sergeant Major Jamie, we heartily approve of unlicensed bagpipery. There we go, a quick reset and we're going to start again. So, let us watch as the guys get themselves set up. Aha! Ahoy, sailor! Who's this fine sailor? Bombardier Jacob, look at him. There we go, and... oh dear. There's something wrong with these people, definitely. Look at them. Oh dear. Now he's got a big thing stuck up his bottom. Anyway, let's move away from that subject. Oh, look at this. Oh, the first RGJ. Don't you look wonderful? Come on, get on with the bagpiping. Oh dear. Disappointing. And we could have used those bagpipes to annoy Malekith. So those guys are all looking wonderful with the colours at the back. And the drummer as well. Ensign Wilson. Very brave goings on there. Ahoy landlubber indeed. Oh, brilliant. The bagpipers, the musicians never get any love. Oh dear. Poor bagpipers. Who's this in command? Major Sluggo from the first RGJ. Look at that fine moustache. And these guys moving up as this is the last round. Going for a slow walk towards the cannons, which as we know will go down very well, as Boone unfortunately went down very, very well indeed. As you can see by the crater that he now lies in. Ensign Wilson. Ow. Crazy Fox loses the colours, unfortunately, but his musician friend nearby picks them up. And I think Lieutenant Ellis wants to pick those up so the drummer can continue his fine work. Okay. Let's see. And now they've decided to turn around and cheese it. Understandably so. Under the circumstances, they keep being shot at by nasty people with cannons, which is just rude, if you ask me. The commanding officer there, Major Sluggo, charging forward and running over his own men. So. Oh no, Elite Guard attack has been taken down. Ellis is leading forward with the colours, bravely pushing forward. And you can see the cavalry continuing to push. Look at these guys, don't they look fantastic? As Porksword gets shot by Andy Murray. Opportunistic kill as he was an AFK Porksword. He was an away pork. So let's just see. As Ensign Wilson also being taken down by this brave... I wouldn't so much call it a charge as a mild saunter by the first RGJ. Now they're starting to run. And look at that. Bombardier Jacob with a fine kill onto multiple members of the 77Y. This is where it's going to get utterly ridiculous. And down goes Sluggo. Let's see what's going on over here. Yep, it is an alternative attack on the 77Y artillery. There's Lautaro trying to defend himself. And you can see a pretty large attack going on. It's artillery. Each guy's going for, or each sections of forces going for the alternatives artillery. And there's Thomas up high on his little perch. Like the proverbial parrot. His 77Y artillery parrot, Mr. Thomas. Literally building himself up into towards the sky to stay away from the enemy. And he'll probably end up getting a flag shoved up his bum by Joe Himbo. Or Yo Jimbo, even. So Dagon gets killed. And look, they're trying to take it down, but he's literally just building himself up. You can't get me, you buggers. There we go, he's literally building himself in. And they're not going to be able to get to him. I expect somebody to shoot him. Oh dear. Culver gets finished off. Captain Connor also. And Thomas gets shot. I predicted it. There we go. Predicted. Nice sniper tower. Unfortunately, Thomas didn't duck at the right moment. So he's now basically... That's not so much a sniper tower as it is a mausoleum. And you've got to feel sorry for the people who go to that funeral. They've got a long way to climb. And the remainders of the artillery section. It's Mr. Turtle. Oh, look at this. Fine battle going on with him and Recruit sneaking. Look at that. Quick dodge out of the way, but it wasn't enough. As Sneaking manages to claim his forfeit. Complete with a quick teabag. Fantastic. Got to be done. And he picks up the colours. Oh dear. Hurrah for old Nosy. Let's see what's going on over here. As you can see, here are the 77Y skirmishers about to become de-skirmished. Oh, look out! And you can see more sabres coming out. And a little bit of murder going on as Slurper-Derp gets finished off. Private Andrew. And Skirmisher Snows. Oh dear. And there's Ida Skyle. Now. There's Starken. And Dano. Still holding on to his artillery section. As a random horse drives past. He's going to have to be quick. He's got to pick his target. Oh dear. It's too low. Straight into the ground. Bounced. And now he may not get the opportunity to fire again. May have been better if he'd waited. We'll have to wait and see. Definitely would have been better if he'd waited, as he's just been horribly murdered. And the Russians win the round. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. That has been it for this Napoleonic War event. Thank you very much for watching. And we shall see you again all for another Napoleonic War line battle in the future. Take care, everyone. Cheery byes.